armor-busting projectiles made for 16-inch battleship guns, but converted to these planes dived down onto the bottom in Arizona. Anti-aircraft fire cleared the bows away from the bottom on the first wave, but the Arizona wasn't that lucky. A bomb from a Cape bomber stabbed the Arizona through her forward magazine and exploded, touching on onto the bottom. Watch the Arizona jump up to 15 to 20 feet in the water and break into two. 1,200 American servicemen in an underwater tube. The ship sank in less than 3 minutes. That underwater tube remains at the bottom of Pearl Harbor. Give testimony to this surprise attack by the Japanese. 7:55 a.m. December 7th, 1941. Tora, Tora, Tora. Listen to the roar of the engine, the sound of the air raid sirens and the gunfire. And you can just imagine what it must have been like if you were a soldier or a sailor or an airman that fateful morning. The Cape torpedo bombers dropping those special shallow-running torpedoes. Yes, this is Tora, Tora, Tora. To your left. The B-36 replica on the change of the Japanese Zero, simulating those three pilots that were able to get into the air. This is and the Marine Corps Air Station Eagle. PFC Melvin Thompson was on guard duty when 9 Zeros attacked the base. Thompson stepped out of the guard shack, drew his .45 caliber pistol, and began firing on the Japanese Zeros. One of the Japanese pilots, Yukio Shiga, saw Thompson firing at him, and years later, Shiga remembered Thompson's tenacity and fighting spirit, describing the lone as the bravest American I have ever seen. And you're seeing a simulation of that bravery. The B-36 hot on the tail of the Japanese Zero, smoking. If you see the smoke coming out of the engine, simulating the few kills that our pilots that fateful morning of December 7th. Dropping those torpedoes. Just imagine what it must have been like. All over the island, soldiers were bringing their weapons to bear in the fight. Anything that they could get working in short order. The .45 caliber pistols, Springfield rifles, 30 caliber machine guns, bringing down numerous marauding Japanese Zeros, valves in case, but they took 386 fighters and bombers, 189 in the first wave, 171 in the second wave. Almost 2 hours of solid attack. Yes, this is it. Tora, Tora, Tora. And on the northeast coast of the island, 4 U.S. Army Air Corps pilots were racing to their P-40s. Just then, Japanese Zeros appeared and started strafing runs. One P-40 pilot was killed just as he stepped into his cockpit. 2 other P-40s were down. You can just imagine what that must have been like. That flight of 16 B-17s coming from the mainland arrived and are immediately attacked by the marauding Japanese Zeros. In the confusion, the B-17s were shot at by friend and foe, and the frightened crews landed wherever they could. Pineapple Field, not far from Hickam Field. Yes, the B-17s, unarmed, just thinking the pilots and crew just thinking they were ferrying the airplanes over here for armament in future use. They had no idea what was headed their way. That's the The B-36, once again, all hot on the tail of the Japanese Zero. High overhead, the Zero's doing scraping runs. That's the way it was like. One of the B-17 pilots, a Major Landon, trying to land, said, what a hell of a way to enter a war. Out of gas, unarmed, and no place to land. 8 of the B-17s actually made it to Hickam Field. At the conclusion of the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, more than half of America's entire naval fleet had been 9 damaged, and just 155 aircraft were left on the ground. 2 battleships, 3 destroyers, and 2 light cruisers were destroyed. 6 battleships were damaged. Our greatest naval base lay in ruins, along with our complacency. The following day, December 8, 1941, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt announced our entry into World War II with these words to Congress, the citizens of the United States, and the world.
Yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
In the 44 months of fighting that followed, the United States sank every one of the Japanese aircraft carriers, battleships, and cruisers of the Pearl Harbor Task Force. Nagasaki, the city where the special armor-busting bombs were made, was destroyed by a U.S. atomic bomb on August 9th of 1945. And when the Japanese surrender document was signed on September 2nd, among the U.S. warships in Tokyo Bay was the West Virginia. Would you please join me in a moment of silence and all those who lost their lives that infamous day?